Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video with my main man Jim and myself, Jones. We are talking about the big hot topic right now of should sports resume from where they left off? Should they return in the fall, return in late summer? And it's been a very important question, I think, in the last month or so, whenever basketball and hockey started to shut down. And it's been talked about with baseball, how can it return? Different types of divisions. Football, how is it going to work if there's no fans? So Jim and I today wanted to talk about, our personal thoughts on things such as Dr. Anthony Fauci has said or things we've read, and our personal opinion, could this work? Jim, what do you think so far?
Well, I mean, as we record this today, it has been officially 50 days without sports. Um, and for people like you and me, and probably people who are interested in watching this
Right.
video, it's probably been torture.
It's been very difficult,
I mean, that's why the NFL draft was such a huge deal last week. 'Cause it
which is
was like,
already a week ago.
yeah, it's unreal that it's already gone. But I mean, when it comes to sports starting back up, I mean, we gotta be careful, just like anything in society right now. We don't want to go too fast and keep the spread going
Right,
of
right,
COVID-19.
right. So I guess my first question to you, we're going to talk about the four major sports: basketball,
Yeah,
hockey, baseball, and football. Now, we all agree that football and baseball, they do have domes, which I don't know if that's considered inside, um, but those sports are usually outside. Now,
yeah,
basketball and hockey is always inside, unless there's that stadium series for hockey or something ridiculous, but we're
yeah.
well past that. Would you agree that basketball and hockey are probably the more dangerous sports to come back if there's going to be fans or if there's either going to be players? Because it's inside. What do you think?
I mean, I think one, it's probably going to be more dangerous, like you said, because of that, because everything's enclosed, and since this is a respiratory disease, uh, more chance of people coming in contact with others, even just not even just fans, just the players themselves.
Yeah.
Uh, but also, those sports were close to the end of the regular season and would be in the playoffs right now. So
Oh,
it's like
my
just
Flyers are in the
logistically,
playoffs
it's
right
going to be
now. My
hard. It's
Flyers
just
have been in the playoffs.
I mean, it's just going to be hard to, kind of pick back up and like, do they just go to playoffs right away? I mean, I know tomorrow, May 1st, as we're shooting this, it's April 30th. Some NBA facilities I know may reopen depending on what the states are. Like I know
Right,
Georgia's reopening, so like the Atlanta Hawks,
right, right.
a chance to get back to their team facility. But I know the players aren't too wild about that.
Yeah. The serious question is, do we need to have another preseason training? I
Yeah,
mean, on their Instagrams they're showing their workouts, but you know, is it really that crazy, wild, vigorous workout? You know what I mean? Like that they should be doing. Are we just seeing the only good stuff for that 5 second period? Like
yeah,
I have to think there has to be another preseason type training. I mean, you're going to see injuries out the what if there
yeah.
is no preparation for this. I don't know. And as you can see, a lot of the before this all happened, the basketball players made jokes of this. I mean, the one guy, Rudy Gobert from the Jazz, like licked or like whatever
They touched all the
touched the
microphones.
microphones, and then a day later he got popped. Like, dude,
Yeah.
serves you right. Like, I just don't know how responsible. Yeah, these people are superstars in the world of sports, but it doesn't mean they're all brilliant or very smart.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
can make millions of dollars and not be smart. So
out of the four major sports, I mean, hockey and basketball, I think have the hardest obstacle to continue this current
right,
season.
right,
I think if anything, they'll just say, this season was a wash, unfortunately,
right,
and start to prepare for, an October, November start
right,
of next season. I mean, I
right.
think that's their best bet so they can actually formulate a good
Yeah,
plan that
yeah.
end up having to fold.
I think basketball cannot come back this season. I do think, and stay with me here, NHL, because we need to move on to or baseball and football, because that's the
Yeah.
ones we really want to talk about as our favorites. But with NHL, now I'm just spitballing here. I just want your opinion.
Okay.
Could we go to a system where, I mean, basketball, there's no gloves, there's nothing covering. Hockey, there's gloves, there's full protective gear from head to toe. The
Hmm.
only place that they're really open is their face because they don't wear face masks. Could
Yeah.
hockey find a way to put like a hockey helmet that looks kind of like what like the movie The Mighty Ducks wore? They had the glass visor covering
Yeah.
their whole face, like someone who has like a jaw, like a broken jaw. They have to wear a full
Mhm.
mask,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
where it's going to eliminate any kind of droplets or aerosol or anything from another person on ice. Could that be something they could do where they all have to wear like the Junior Olympics face mask? You
No,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
I know what you're saying.
There's
I
still
mean,
holes though for breathing.
that's a possibility. I mean, I don't know if realistically they're going to have enough time to get all that stuff done to finish this season. I mean, in my mind, which it sucks because even though I'm not a big NBA fan, I
Yeah.
still enjoy the playoffs and stuff. Watching all
Sure. Oh, I watched the finals for sure.
yeah.
I miss '90s basketball of like the Jordan era and Iverson, but like I still will watch the finals because it's the finals.
Yeah, so
School
I just don't
school to school.
realistically see either of those coming back for
Yeah.
this.
I have no idea how basketball would because they're so unprotected with their body.
Yeah,
They wear a jersey that's a tank top essentially and shorts. So their bottom of their knee is exposed, their arms are exposed, mostly their torso is exposed. So and their face is definitely. So I think hockey could if they figured out a helmet situation because everything
yeah,
else is covered. I mean, there's no germs on your gloves. Your hands are in the gloves. So you just got to think about maybe a helmet. So I think hockey could come back, but basketball, no. So baseball, I keep hearing that it could come back at the latter portion of June.
that's what I
And
hear too.
and I saw the proposed 10 teams per division, which would mean like the Orioles, your team, and the Phillies, my team, would be in the same division. And I'm being honest, it's exciting. Like that's kind of cool.
It's
Like
different. It's
this
different.
is a asterisk year. It's an asterisk year. We all agree to that. Who cares who wins the World Series? Who cares who wins the Super Bowl? It's a weird year. We'll never forget this. So if
Yeah,
some outlandish team wins, who cares? They won.
yeah.
Um, Now baseball, do you have any hiccups with baseball returning? Because I have one major one, and I want to see if you say it. What's your hiccup with
With
baseball?
baseball returning, I know that they've talked about potentially doing all the games either in regions like you're talking about, or like just bringing all the teams to like Arizona where all the spring training facilities are and quarantining them all. Which I don't know how many players are going to get on board with that being
Well,
away
Mike
from.
Mike Trout said absolutely not. He's kind of the leader of
It's
the
probably
pack
not
there.
going to happen.
No.
But I mean, an obstacle that you do face, say you go games without fans. I mean, the players, and I may have talked about this with you. Say you got a runner on first with the first
Yep.
baseman; they're right
This is
there
my
on top of
point.
each other.
Right. This is my point. That's my point exactly. Like, how is that going to happen? Like, how is that going to happen? Um, and they've said that there was I read an article about what sports, like which sport has is most known for having people that carouse and go out and party and stuff like that. And baseball was number one.
Yeah, I
So
believe it. It's a
so
long season.
are they going to follow the guidelines? I mean, that's not for me to say, but the article I read saying how baseball players are a little bit more flamboyant with their ways of going out than other sports. That kind of puts a little thing in my mind. And honestly, the point you just made is the one I was going to make. Like, if a guy hits a single, he's on first base. First baseman's job is to hold him if there's
Yeah,
no other base runner. So that's intimate. That's a foot away from each other. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, are they going to test? Yeah, hopefully there's no false negative. But I don't see how that works. And they're saying that baseball players will be not in the dugout, will be in the stands, like 3-4 seats away from each other because there's going to be no fans. I'm like,
That'd be so weird to see.
I
And you know
do
what?
want baseball back, but let's not make this a backyard thing. I don't know. It just
Well,
doesn't
well, you
make,
know what came up on my memories from today, which is kind of funny that we're doing this video.
yeah.
I think it was 6 years ago today is when the Orioles had that game against the White Sox where there was no fans in the stands at all, and it was so
Yes.
weird when it happened. But like this could be our reality now with
And I remember watching that and being like, that's so weird and kind of eerie. But at this point, I'll take anything.
yes.
They could have like replacements people I've never heard of playing. I'd watch.
Now when it comes to
Keanu
any
Reeves is swinging.
when it comes to any sport, I'm just going to put this out there. I don't think there's any way that we have any sporting events with any fans there. And I mean, because Dr. Fauci gave the go ahead that if sports, prepare, they're good, but there should be no fans. And honestly, as long as they're on TV, that's all I care about.
Right. That's what I've said too. I know they're going to have the testing readily available. They're going to have multiple tests. They can get right now. They're getting results back in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's
So
getting
hopefully
better.
there's no false negatives, and hopefully these players abide by what the rules and guidelines are. Now with football, would you agree that football is the sport that players usually really thrive off the fans?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
do.
Okay. So now the reason why football definitely has to come back, they have protective gear on, the face mask sort of thing, visor that could help. Not as much as, it's better than basketball, I think, and baseball when it comes to exposure. But
Yeah.
I think if there's no fans, we are going to truly see what each team is about, because
Oh,
sometimes
absolutely.
fans really can help against the visiting team. Like
Think
it's
about the
been proven.
Seahawks, the
Well,
12th man.
right. Well, think about like kickers kicking field goals. It's so loud and noisy, and I can't focus on kicking a field goal. Well, that's minus 3 points right there if I can't get that. Or
Yeah.
for a quarterback on third and long, and the team is the home team that's blitzing them. I mean, your fans are going to be really pushing it. So I really want football back just to see who is the pound for pound best team in terms of play design, in terms of ability. Because if there's no fans, you're going to see everyone, in my opinion, at their truest form of
Yeah.
athlete.
Yeah. And I
So,
mean, football, they have the most time to work something out. And
yeah,
I mean, they're technically going to be releasing the schedule May 9th. And apparently we're getting like, a normal 17-week, 16 game schedule this year starting at the normal time. But I have seen that they have a backup plan of starting maybe in October and having no bye weeks and pushing stuff back. So then the playoffs would be later. I know football is really trying their best to not at least lose out on the season and the TV
yeah.
deal. They get a lot of money from those TV deals,
Well, it's always about money, man. That's the thing. But
unfortunately.
I think I don't need fans for football, and I say that only because I want to see who is truly the pound for pound best team. Because
I
you're not
just
going
want
to
to
have,
see football.
yeah, but you're not going to. But my thing is, with college football, we don't need to get into that right now because it's not a part of this. But like for NFL, I'm fine with it. I don't need fans. Like the fans want to go because of the tailgating and to see their team and to catch up with friends or family. I get all that, but you can do that at home too. You can FaceTime
Yeah.
people or whatever. And here's the deal. What I think is going to be the big hit this year is football comes back on, and there's going to be huge Zoom parties. Like the Philadelphia Eagles will have an official Zoom party where you can have like a legend come on, like Brian Dawkins is in the Zoom video, and 10 selected lucky people get to watch the game with him
Oh, I'm
on
sure
Zoom.
they'll do
Like
something.
that would be awesome. Like for you guys, that'd be like Mark Brunell for the Jaguars is going to have a Zoom meeting with 10 lucky participants that signed up. I mean, you get selected and you
And
get to
watch the
watch
game with you. Yeah.
you get to watch a 1 o'clock game till 4 with Mark Brunell or Keenan McCardle or Jimmy Smith. That'd be awesome for you. For
They
me,
couldn't do
Brian
it with Keenan
Dawkins or
McCardell.
Donovan McNabb, like that'd be so fun.
Keenan McCardell's wide receiver coach. Couldn't do it with him.
Yes, that's true. But my point is, there's always loopholes, and there's always different things you can get away with, and there's things that you can create. So everyone's so worried about this. I'm like, we don't need fans. We don't
Yeah,
need fans. I'm
I
sure
agree.
they need fans for money's sake, but everyone's not really making money right now. So it's just part of the times.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm all on board if they can safely do it and do it without fans, and we can still get the games on television. And maybe they
Yeah,
restrict with not letting everyone get to see certain games.
yeah,
Um, I'm all on board for it. I just
right,
it would just make it feel a little bit normal, and that's kind of how it felt with the NFL draft. A little bit
right,
of normalcy from this
right,
oddity, of what's going on in life.
right. Now, my last question for the video, unless you have one, is about the noise from fans. As a fan yourself, you and I, we've been to many games in person together, and we've watched many games on TV together.
Yes.
Does the fan noise from the TV when you and I are watching a game matter to you? Like you're like, oh, I'm all fired up because the fans right now.
Um. Sometimes if it's my team or it's like a big playoff game or a big moment, you kind of like feel it, and then they show pictures of the crowds.
Yeah,
For pure football sense, not really. And I
right.
mean,
Like
maybe they'll let these teams, like if it's their home game, let them pump in crowd noise and make it kind of a
Right.
home field advantage.
Right. And Fox and CBS and like NFL Network, they kind of make the crowd noise much lower, so you can hear
Yes.
the announcers. Unfortunately, hear Joe Buck, but you can hear the announcers talk. So as fans in our homes watching the game, I don't think the fan noise matters. When you're at the game, the fan noise is great, but
Oh
none
yeah.
of us are going to be at the game, so that's not an issue. I think it's better to hear fan noise maybe in hockey, because when you finally reach the goal of scoring, everyone goes nuts. That's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
exciting.
It's crazy.
Baseball, because it's so like it's like intervals of action, no action. When someone hits a home run, everyone goes nuts. But in
Yeah.
football, there's always so many different things going on that I don't think the crowd noise would matter as much. Maybe fire up the defense, but like I don't think we need the crowd noise as much as viewers from home. I don't think I need that.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's my thought. I just thought it'd be a good video to talk about. This was Jones and Jim's very first ever Jones and Jim's thoughts. We're going to probably do more of these, for example,
Yeah.
maybe even put it into a podcast once we get to that point. But just wanted to kind of spitball back and forth with my buddy Jim, and obviously to get your guys' opinions and comments and thoughts, because everything here is taking a guess. We're going to flip flop a lot because we find new data per day, thanks to our infectious disease doctors and what's going on. So, any
Yeah.
last thoughts, sir?
No, I mean, it is what it is, and all it is conversation, but it's something to talk about. And luckily for us, it's not our job to just make all these big decisions. We're just there to criticize whatever happens.
That's right. That's right. All right, man. Well, it was great talking with you, and this was a good first Jones and Jim thoughts, and look forward to doing it again.
Yeah. See you later.
See you, bud.